Can I retire at 65 with $150,000 saved for retirement by popular demand? That's the question that we are answering today. And during the best part of 4 years working in financial advice, can I retire with X? Whatever that figure may be is definitely one of the most frequently asked questions we get. And answering that question depends very heavily on whether you're single or married if you're a couple. Whilst your retirement goals may well be different, you'll have two state pensions coming in, and as the old saying goes, two can often live as cheaply as one, which is why today we're going to break it down for both scenarios to give you a really clear picture of what might be possible for you. And by the end of this video, you'll understand what financial factors come into play when you're thinking about retiring early, and if or how 150,000 can help you achieve the lifestyle that you want now. When it comes to retirement planning, many people assume that they can just save up a lump sum and call it a day. But here's the thing that's not always the case. In order to actually retire comfortably, you need to know exactly how much income you'll need to cover your lifestyle. Let's break it down. There's more to consider than just your savings. You need to account for your living expenses, which can vary widely depending on your lifestyle. For example, housing, whether you're paying a mortgage, rent, or simply covering bills. This is usually your biggest expense. You've got your food and groceries, but you do have to eat after all. And don't forget the occasional treat too. Hobbies. What about socializing and travel? Whether it's golfing, dining out, or journeying to tropical destinations, these expenses absolutely do add up. Let's talk healthy care. Well, as you get older, whilst you might get a little bit wiser, if you're lucky, you'll probably not be getting much healthier. So the cost to look after yourself and your body is likely to rise, so you must factor that in too. Now, setting realistic financial goals is a crucial part of this. It means understanding how much you realistically need each year, considering inflation, lifestyle changes, and any unexpected costs. It's not just about saving a large lump sum and hoping for the best. Without clear goals, it's almost impossible to know if a number like 150,000 is really enough to cover the lifestyle you want. When you start calculating all of those costs, you'll see how quickly that lump sum can shrink. That's why calculating your numbers is so important before taking the leap into retirement. By understanding exactly what you'll need to cover your expenses, you'll have a much clearer picture of when and how you can ready comfortably. Continuing with this theme, we're going to look at two scenarios, one where the retiree is single and one where we've got a married couple. Here are the main assumptions that we're going to make in both of these scenarios. Starting with the retirement age, we're going to plan for retirement at age 62, though this age could of course be different for each person in that relationship depending on their circumstances. Inflation rate, we're going to assume 2% in line with the government's longer term guidelines. Investment growth, well, we've used a conservative 4% here as a stress test. And it's really important to make sure that you're invested in funds that give you the best chance of achieving that and more, because even a 1% additional return can make a huge difference to your retirement lifestyle. Over 30 years, we've assumed here that the individual and couple will get full state pension from 67. That's $11,502 a year. We generally forecast to age 90, in line with the Office of National Statistics telling us that that's when we'll all meet our maker, which of course, we cannot really forecast at all. All calculations assume these rates remain constant inflation interest state pension, though in reality, they most definitely will not. So hopefully that wasn't a complete mouthful. And you understand what I'm trying to talk about here right now. Let's take a look at scenario one. John, we shall call him, has 150,000 pounds in a pension, and our calculations show that this should deliver $300 per month when retiring right now at age 62. But let's break down the numbers to give you a clearer picture. The $300 a month will all come from his pension until he hits 67, at which point he'll get his state pension, which is 221.20 English pounds a week, with a difference coming from his pension pot. Now, while 1,300 might cover his basic living costs like housing, groceries, and bills, it could start to fail a wee bit tight depending on his lifestyle. For instance, let's think about yourselves here. If you enjoy travel, dining out, or have hobbies that come with their own costs, 1,300 a month might not stretch as far as you'd expect. And if you're renting a property, a good portion of that 1,300 pounds could go towards covering rent alone. So these lifestyle preferences can quickly add up, leaving you with a lot less flexibility for saving or unexpected costs. So whilst 1,300 might cover the essentials, it's really important to consider your individual lifestyle and how it might affect your finances in retirement. Understanding how much income you need to maintain the life you want will help you plan better and avoid feeling financially strained down the line. If you're aiming for 1,300 pounds a month in retirement, I'd say you really do need to budget very carefully and adjust your lifestyle to live within your means. One way to do this is by cutting back on everyday expenses. For example, you could consider reviewing subscriptions that you're not using. You could avoid impulse purchases, or you could consider cooking at home instead of dining out. And these small changes can free up extra money, which can make a big difference in the long run. The key is to look at how making consistent adjustments can help boost your savings. For instance, by cutting back on non-essentials before you retire, you can redirect those savings into investments, things like pensions and ICs in particular, right? Well, that's the picture for single retirees. But what about married couples? How do the numbers change for them for a married couple? If we assume they both have 75,000 pounds each in pensions, the same 150,000 pounds would give them a joint 2,100 pounds per month. Now, this figure includes the combined income from both individuals along with the steered pension for each person. The figure is higher for two main reasons. Firstly, they will each get a state pension, but also there are now two nil rate income tax bands to use, meaning more of the 150,000 will come out tax-free with a higher combined income. Couples have more flexibility when it comes to covering the living expenses by sharing housing costs and utilities and one car between. For example, there will be more left at the end of the month to pay for leisure activities, holidays, and general fun and frolics. Now, while this might allow them to live a bit more comfortably compared to a single person, it's still crucial that they manage their income really carefully. Even with more flexibility, they'll need to ensure that they're not at risk of outliving their savings. Planning and budgeting wisely remains essential to maintain a comfortable lifestyle throughout retirement, pretty much for everyone for a married couple. There are several financial strategies to explore that can help ensure a more comfortable and secure retirement. Let's take a look at some strategies that are great fits for couples. So first, they could consider diversifying into different types of investments, as well as pensions. There's things like stocks and shares, ISAs, investment bonds, or even real estate if that's an option for them. Having easy access to some cash is also really important for things like unexpected emergencies. For example, diversification helps spread the risk and make sure both your short and long-term requirements can be met without a massive panic. Another key strategy for building wealth is contributing regularly into growth accounts such as pensions or ISAs. By consistently adding to these, couples can take advantage of compounding growth, which can make a big difference over time. Now, finally, assessing ways to reduce expenses is an essential part of any retirement plan. I have mentioned it earlier, but I'll say it again. Cutting back on non-essentials can free up money that could be put towards bigger financial moves, like additional savings for unexpected costs, such as healthcare. By combining these strategies, married couples can create a well-rounded plan that not only supports their current lifestyle, but also prepares them for a comfortable and financially secure future, right? So now we've seen how much you can expect from your 50,000 pound savings at age 62. Let's talk about some really tactical ways to boost your put. Because whether you're looking to retire a bit earlier or simply want a bit more financial flexibility in retirement, there are several strategies to help you increase that savings amount, from consolidating pensions to salary SA rice, and even refining your investment strategy. Let's go through the options step by step to ensure you're doing everything you can to maximize your retirement fund. Now, it's completely normal these days to collect pension pots from different employers over the years, and to be sat looking at probably 5 or 6 or even more pensions when you hit your 50s instead of having multiple pots scattered all over the place. It's often a really sensible idea to combine them all into one. This is known as pension consolidation. Why is it important? Well, having all your pension savings in one place makes it far easier to manage, giving you a really clear picture of your retirement funds. It can also potentially help you reduce fees that might be eating into your savings. Plus, you'll have the option to invest more strategically in more than one fund, which could lead to much better growth. If you're 40 or older, reach out to your pension providers or a financial advisor to see if consolidation could work for you. The more organized your savings are, the better control you'll have over them. And that's really important. I'm sure a few of you will be sat seeing, but truly that means you're putting all your eggs in one basket. Well, with a modern pension basket, you might actually have access to a huge range of fund eggs. And so, with the help of a good IFA, you can pick a selection, which means you have a nice basket filled with a range of excellent funds, right? Salary sacrifice. This is where you agree to reduce your salary in exchange for extra pension contributions. And the beauty of this is it benefits both you and your employer, as they may also match or contribute to your pension. By lowering your salary, you personally pay less tax and national insurance, and your pension contributions grow. For example, if you're earning £60,000 and paying a higher rate, tax sacrifice £10,000 of that, and you will pay no 40% tax on your salary, your pension contributions will increase significantly without having to dip into your personal spending. You should talk to your employer or a financial advisor to set up salary sacrifice and make sure you're properly educated and understanding before you do so. And even small regular sacrifices like £100 a month can make a big difference as you near retirement. It's a great solution for money that you don't need to support your current lifestyle. If your employer doesn't support salary sacrifice, all is not lost. You can contribute from your personal bank account after you've paid tax on your earnings and get that tax back from HMRC, whether that's 20% or 40% or more. Delaying retirement by even just a few extra years will also make a difference to your financial security. The longer you stay in the workforce, the more you can grow your pension and reduce the years you need to rely solely on your savings. And if you delay drawing from your pension, you can maximize your state pension, which starts at age 67, giving you a stronger financial base when you do eventually retire. If it's realistic to extend your working years or go part-time in your current role or even do something completely different, it can have a substantial impact on your retirement, right? Let's talk a little bit about investment management and strategy. Well, growing your 15,000 with better investment decisions will of course help. Inflation is a real threat to your savings, particularly if it's languishing as cash without any real growth. Your 150,000 will definitely lose value over time thanks to inflation. To make the most of your money, it should be working for you through smarter investing. You should also consider options like stocks and shares, ISIS, for better returns compared to traditional cash savings accounts. You can invest in funds that grow long-term like stocks and shares index funds or managed funds, and these have historically outperformed over time. Another option is property investment, which can provide a rental income and potential capital growth, though that comes with its own challenges, so not to be entered into without all the facts. Regularly review your portfolio to ensure you're diversifying and taking advantage of any new opportunities that might appear for someone in their 40s or 50s. This is crucial to get the best possible returns over the next decade and beyond. Talk to a financial advisor or use investment platforms to explore growth-oriented assets like stocks and shares, bonds, property funds. With a balanced portfolio, you could see your initial 150,000 grow substantially. Now, throughout this video, we focused on the idea of retiring around age 62, but this is the thing, you don't have to wait until then. In fact, you could be older or even younger and still retire a lot sooner than you think, maybe even right now. All you need to do is answer yes to just 5 simple questions. Click here to check out the next video where I'll walk you through those 5 questions and explain how they might just be the sign that you're actually ready to retire sooner than you ever imagined. In that video, I'm going to break down everything you need to know so you'll get all the answers to the burning questions you have right now, and I'll see you there.